What is going on, Vulcan Turtle family? I hope you all are having a fantastic day. Today we're going to be covering a deck that I haven't covered on the channel yet, surprisingly, but with all the changes in Paldea Evolved, I think it's gotten a lot better. So sit back and relax as we cover Miraidon Flaffy. Miraidon EX. I'm actually very surprised that we haven't covered Miraidon EX on the channel yet because it came out in Scarlet and Violet. It was like one of the biggest, most hyped cards out of that set. But we never covered it here, and I'm happy to do it now because I think it got a lot better with some of the extra stuff that we've gotten from Paldea Evolved. So let's actually go into what Miraidon does, shall we? Miraidon EX is an EX Pokemon, 220 HP. It has Tandem Unit, and that ability says that once during your turn, you can search your deck for 2 basic electric Pokemon and put them on your bench and shuffle your deck. So it's a great way to actually set up without needing a bunch of VIP passes, Nest Balls, Ultra Balls, and stuff. And don't get me wrong, we still play Nest Ball, we still play Ultra Ball, but if you get one of those cards in your opening hand, you get yourself a Miraidon, and Miraidon gets you everything else you need. So it's a really good set of Pokemon. It also has a really good attack, Photon Blaster. It does 228 damage, and then during your next turn, it can't attack, which isn't bad considering that it does have a retreat cost of 1, so it's not that difficult to actually get it in and out of the active so you can reuse Photon Blaster. Next up on the list here, we do have Magnezone V. Magnezone V has a really good first attack called Magnetic Tension, where you can switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active, and if you do, it does 40 damage to the new active Pokemon. This is really good in specific matchups like Lost Box, where if you're going second and they haven't really set up, but you see they put down the Manaphy, you're able to Magnetic Tension out the Manaphy and get a KO on it because you're going to be hitting for weakness. And if they can't get the Manaphy back, and if they can't knock out your Magnezone, it allows you to evolve it to Magnezone V-STAR, which gives you access to Electrostar. It says that, this attack does 90 damage to your opponent's bench Pokemon. That's it. It's literally a Greninja. Magnezone V-STAR's V-STAR power is basically a Greninja without the discard. And it's electric, which is pretty good. You can actually use this to get 3 prizes in a turn if you're able to boss out a Lumineon and then use the Electrostar on Lumineon and then do 90 on something on the bench with 90 or less HP. But this is also a good way to beat Gardevoir decks, right? Because if you're able to use the first attack, Magnetic Tension, KO the Manaphy, and if they don't put down Manaphy, you don't need to use Magnetic Tension, but then you can go into Electrostar and then you can do 90 damage to Kirlia. You're pretty much in the clear, right? Because you're annihilating a lot of their resources and their Pokemon that they need to evolve. So Electrostar is really good. And Magnetic Grip isn't bad either. It does 180 damage. You can search your deck for 2 item cards. And there's very useful item cards in this list. But Electrostar is pretty much the way you want to go about using this Magnezone for sure. There's no doubt about that. Now, we do have 2 copies of Mareep. This is the one from Chilling Reign. And we do have 2 copies of Flaffy with Dynamotor. Dynamotor is a really good ability where you can attach a electric energy card from your discard pile onto one of your benched Pokemon. And a lot of our bench Pokemon are very easy to build up. We do have Raichu V in this deck with Dynamic Spark. It is pretty much a glass cannon. You just build it up as big as you can and all of your Pokemon as big as you can, and then you Dynamic Spark for huge KOs. We have Raikou here with Fleet-Footed. You're able to just draw an extra card, but that Lightning Rondo is very easy to build up with Dynamotor plus your Electric Generator, so going second feels super good with this deck. Now, lastly, for the last few Pokemon here, we do have a Radiant Greninja for consistency. We want to be able to dump some cards into the discard, dump some energy into the discard to build up our Dynamotor, but also it allows us to draw 2 cards, so concealed cards is super good in this list. We do have Zapdos to increase our damage output by 10, and this is actually really important. Now, let me explain why. If you have a full bench, and let's say you're up against Lost Box, right? What is the most powerful V Pokemon in that deck? Now, some might argue it's Raikou. I argue it's Dragonite, and Dragonite has 230 HP, which is a lot. And if you're going, let's say, second, right? Let's say you're going second, and they have a full bench, and you have a full bench, and that Zapdos is on the bench. And you find yourself a Switch, and you find yourself an Electric Generator, and you find yourself a Boss's Orders. What you can do is you can Electric Generator onto Raikou, Switch, boss out the Dragonite, and now instead of doing 220, you're doing 230 damage, which means that you're getting KOs in places that you most likely never would have. So Zapdos is very good in this list. We do have a Drapion V, and you could say the same thing for Miraidon too. Miraidon could do 230 with the Zapdos as well. It's just the Raikou is easier to build up. We do have a copy of Echoing Horn. I like Echoing Horn in this list mainly because against a lot of decks that play very minimal amount of V Pokemon or 2 prizer Pokemon, you are able to, get a KO on those. pretty easily because you're going to just Echoing Horn them back onto the bench and then boss them out and take a KO. But be careful of players that do like to play around the Echoing Horn. They exist, they're smart, they know what they're doing. But if they do have a bench slot open and a V in the discard, just go ahead and Echoing Horn that bad boy out and hit it with a boss's order so you can take a KO and accelerate your game to win. We do have 4 copies of Electric Generator in here. 4 copies is optimal. You cannot play 3, you cannot play 2, and I better not see you playing 1, all right? 4 is the way that you got to play this deck because it is your energy acceleration. You look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and then you get to take 2 basic electric energy from your the 5 cards that you see and attach them to your bench electric Pokemon any way you like. So you want to be able to use this Electric Generator often. You need to find it, you need to use it, and 4 is the optimal number. We do have a copy of Escape Rope in here for switching. We do have 2 copies of Nest Ball because, again, if you find 1 Nest Ball, you can find Miraidon. If you can find Miraidon, you can find any Pokemon in the deck. Well, any electric Pokemon. You can't just go and find like Greninja or Drapion, but any other Pokemon besides Drapion and Greninja that are basic, you can get them. 4 copies of Switch in here. The reason why Switch and not Switch card is because you do play a evolved Pokemon. You play like Magnezone, you do play Flaffy, so Switch is just better because Switch card does not actually move any any evolved Pokemon from the active onto the bench. We do have a 3 copies of Ultra Ball in here because we are playing evolution Pokemon. 3 copies of Beach Court. This is where that 1 retreat cost on Photon Blaster Miraidon really comes in because you can just retreat for free, which is nice. I mean, Raikou has 1 retreat cost, Raichu has 1 retreat cost. Most of the cards in your deck have 1 retreat cost besides Zapdos, Flaffy, and Magnezone, and that is both versions of Magnezone. They have 2. We have 3 copies of Boss's Orders in here. We have 4 copies of Iono. This is the one card that I think really accelerates Miraidon into the current meta. This deck is fast, right? And if you're playing at challenges, cups, or even regionals, you want to be speedy because that timer can kill you, and ties are the worst thing on the planet. So you definitely want to be as fast as possible. Well, if you're a little bit behind, or if your opponent is just getting knockouts left and right, and you know that you can possibly lock them out of the game by playing an Iono, playing 4 disruption cards is super good, especially against Lost Box lists, because if they can't find anything that they need, or if they find everything that they need and they know that they're holding the very key specific cards, you're able to Iono them down to like 4 and 2 and stuff like that. So Iono is very, very good in this list. We're also playing 2 copies of Judge for the same reason. It's just disruption is so powerful. We have 1 copy of Research in here for your generic draw support. We do have 2 copies of Serena. Now, this is good draw support, but it's also a very specific Gust card against V Pokemon, so having the double ability here is really nice as well. 1 copy of Forest Sealstone. Now, the reason why we're only playing 1 copy is because you don't want to tunnel vision yourself into playing the Forest Sealstone if you don't have to. Magnezone VSTAR in a lot of situations is going to be extremely useful, so you don't want to force yourself to play the Forest Sealstone if you don't have to, because it's between that or Electrostar. So if you know which move is better, definitely go for the right call. You don't have to play the Forest Sealstone if you know that you could take game with an Electrostar. So make sure you're using your V-Star power or V-Star attack accordingly, because you only get 1. And lastly, to round off the list, we have 14 electric energy. So that is the list. As always, the deck list will be in the description for you guys to check out. And please let me know what you guys would change in the comments. So let's jump into a game. All right, guys, here we go into our game with Miraidon. I'm super excited. Now, I wanted to play Miraidon at a local challenge recently. Now, we're actually coming off of the weekend. This video is obviously uploaded on Monday, so let me know in the comments, did you guys go to any challenges or cups? And hey, our opponent conceded. Very nice. Did you guys go to any challenges or cups? If you did, let me know how you did. I would love to hear what you played, and if you saw any Miraidon there. But we're going to find another game now. All right, guys, here we go into our first game with Miraidon. I am super pumped to be playing around with this little lizard. I was gonna play it at a challenge, but I decided for Chien-Pao, and boy, am I glad I did, because we were able to actually this weekend win a challenge, and we got 8th in another challenge, and oh man, I had to play a friend, and it was for the top 4 placement. I'm happy they won because now they got points on the board, so we're all working on that together. Very proud, very happy. But let me know, did you guys go to any challenges? Because this video is going to be up on Monday. Did you go to any challenges, any cups, anything like that over the weekend? If you did, what did you play? What are your points at? Let me know. I'm very, very much interested in what you guys are up to, so let me know if you're chasing those points. All right, so we got a pretty good matchup here. We got Lost Box, so let's go ahead and bench this Mareep here. We're going to go ahead and give this to Magnezone, and we're going to Nest Ball. Nest Ball is going to get us a Miraidon. And Miraidon is going to go ahead and get us a couple of Pokemon. So let's go ahead and grab ourselves a Raikou, and another Mareep is fine. I think the one downside here, though, is that we do not have another energy to give Magnezone. So we're going to want to, like, top deck that energy next turn for sure. We need to top deck an energy so that way we can Ultra Ball. And with Ultra Ball, we're able to do something like evolve into Magnezone VSTAR and then snipe some Comfeys. That is the goal. That is the goal. But right now, the setup isn't that bad. We do have Flaffy, so we can evolve a Mareep into Flaffy. Give it a little extra bulk so that way it survives like Sableye. Hopefully, we can actually like pull off an attack next turn because it is not looking exactly good for us at the moment. No other energies, no other no draw support in the hand. It just doesn't feel good. But we'll see. We'll see. And Beach Court as well. Beach Court kind of stinks here in this situation because we didn't have the Miraidon before, and we didn't have these guys. So we had to either start with Mareep or Magnezone, and neither of these homies can retreat with Beach Court, so it doesn't feel good. Okay, they dumped a Nest Ball and a Mirage Gate, which means that they probably found a VIP pass. There it is. Yeah, you don't dump a Nest Ball if you didn't get something else to, like, help you find Pokemon. That just feels bad. Like, why would you do that? So let's see what this VIP pass is capable of finding our friend here. I want to see if they get the Manaphy. That's what I'm most interested in. If they get the Manaphy, then we're going to probably Magnetic Tension it if we can find ourselves an energy. Okay, they don't get the Manaphy. Okay. You know what? Fine with me. Don't get the Manaphy because I will use my V-Star attack to do very mean things. Okay, this is good. Escape Rope gives us the Raikou in the active. Raikou will be able to Fleet Foot us next turn, which means that we're going to see one extra card. So hopefully we draw into something that we very much need, either it be an energy or a draw support. What did the Jet toss there? A Clara. They tossed a Clara. They are not having a good time over there, are they, guys? They are just not finding what they need. Conceal cards. Let's see what else they find here. In Artisan. Ooh, Artisan's pretty good. Artisan's pretty good. They're going to be able to find another Comfey here. Unfortunately for us, we cannot use Artisan to find Greninja. Greninja, if you can find Greninja off of Artisan, it'd be so busted, I swear. But they did lock it behind. You cannot, like, find a rule box Pokemon. So, you know, they had to balance out this card somehow, right? It's just a Nest Ball for everyone. They dumped another Artisan here. Okay. So let's see what we could possibly do. They've got 4 in the loss zone right now because they did play the Colress a little while ago, so that is something. Nest Ball, I'm assuming they're gonna grab a Cramorant, and if they grab a Cramorant, they probably have a switching card in hand or even an energy to attach Retreat, and then they're gonna do 110 to our Raikou, which feels bad, man, just not good. But we'll see. We'll see what they do. We'll see. Could be that they're Cramorant's prize. You never know. No, they got the Cramorant. So they got the Switch. They're going to do 110 to us. Kind of feels bad to not put the Mareep out there now. We should have given them that. Ooh, hold up. Yeah, I'd rather you damage or KO a Mareep here than to KO my Raikou or put damage on it so you can, like, Sableye it later. So yeah, this is a much better route in my opinion. We do have the Beach Court, so we're able to put Raikou in the active and then Fleet Foot in retreat. So hopefully that is something that we can do next turn. Because you never know. You never know if you're going to be able to do those things. We just need to, like, we desperately need to find an energy. We need to find an energy. Come on. It's a Raichu. No. Come on, Fleet Foot. Give us something. It's a Switch. That is nothing. It gives us nothing. Okay, hold on. It's not over yet because... Oh, no, it is over. Dang, bro. We don't have another Raikou in the deck so we could draw more. Oh, feels bad. With all the energy we have in our deck, you would assume that we could, like... You would assume that we'd find an energy. But I guess not. Oh, this feels so bad. Well, I don't want to give them the Beach Court now. But I feel like I have to at this point. Yeah, I'm going to Beach Court. I'm going to retreat into Zapdos here. And I'm going to pass. Oh, that feels so bad. How, like 14 energy in the deck, and how did we not find one? We got like 2 judges and Ionos. Like, we gotta find something, right? Okay, let's see what they decide to do. They do have access to our Beach Court now, which like is bad, but I don't want them to put a whole bunch of damage on the Raikou. It's not helpful for us, so we need to be able to find an energy or just some draw. So we need to find something at the very least. Next turn, if we do find an energy though, what we can do, because they're starting to build up this Greninja, right? Which is kind of scary. What we can do if we find an energy next turn is Ultra Ball away, Raichu, and whatever we draw off the Raikou. Ultra Ball those away. Boss out the Greninja. Oh, they left our Zapdos in the active. Yikes. Okay. So we did find it. Oh, this stinks, though, because I need to use this switch. Okay, let's Fleet Foot. Gets us a Forest Seal, which isn't what we need, because we're going to use our V-Star ability. So let's go ahead and dump these. Okay, yep. We're going to get the Magnezone V-Star. We're going to promote Magnezone V into the active. We're going to retreat for free from our Beach Court. And because they're building up that Greninja, let's just go ahead and bring him out. And we're going to Electro Star. We're going to get a KO on the Greninja. Oh, no, we can't. It's bench Pokemon only. Oh, I'm dumb. That's fine. Let's go ahead and just double knock out the Comfeys. I forgot that it's only the bench Pokemon. So earlier when I said in the list video, hey, you can just bring up a Lumineon and take... No, you can't do that. I'm so dumb. Do not listen to me on that aspect. You cannot do... I forgot that it's only bench Pokemon. You know... When it comes, like, people often ask, like, for tips and tricks on how to get good at the game. The biggest tip that I can give you is literally read the cards, because I didn't. I forgot that you can't do what I just said. Yikes. We did find an Electric Generator, and we did find an Iono, so that feels pretty good. They used a Raihan here, so no more Pokemon, or no more stuff going into the Lost Zone here, which is nice. So let's see what we can hit off the generator. Hopefully we can hit 2 energies, and then we can Iono, and then we'll have draw support, which is good. So we know that Flaffy's getting knocked out. No doubt about that. Flaffy's going bye-bye. Which is a little unfortunate, but hey, it is what it is. Flaffy's going to go bye-bye. I don't know where they're going to put the other 90. Probably on Raikou, because if they put 90 on Raikou, they get like 110 knockout with Cramorant or 120 knockout with Sableye. So like, we know that they can get a knockout on the Raikou with Sableye and all that stuff. So we'll see. But they are only halfway there. They're only at 5. Let's see what they decide to do. 90 on the Flaffy. Could be like 90 on active too. That is something that could happen. Let's see. If I were my opponent right now, I'd put it on the Raikou. If I'm being 100% genuine, I would put it on the Raikou. But to be fair, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, to be fair, they don't know if I play Switch Card, which would heal and then kind of like get Raikou out of the position of being able to like Sableye KO next turn. So you know what? Honestly, this is fair. This makes sense. Okay. I don't hate this now. So I am going to Iono them. They're going to go down to 4 cards just like we are. Nice. We got an attach for the turn. We'll put that on a Miraidon. And I'm going to Generator. We got 2 off the Generator. Feels good. We'll put 1 here and 1 here. So now next turn, if Magnezone gets knocked out, we're just an attach away. We'll go ahead and Iono. And okay, we got some decent cards here. Oh, I'm so stupid. I should have attached to the Magnezone. What is wrong with me? Never punished, though. We did have the Generator pull through. So that feels pretty good. That feels pretty good. We can switch into Raikou here. And let's Generator again. Ah, dude, our luck ran out. Our luck ran out. But it is fine. We'll go ahead and Fleet Foot to draw 1 card. It's a Beach Court, so not bad. We will Lightning Rondo here to get a knockout. So our opponent officially has like no draw support on the bench. There's no Comfeys. Greninja just got dumped, and we Iono'd them last turn. So we'll see what their game plan is now. They can attack us with Cramorant. That is 100% a thing they can do, but we'll see if they're able to come back from that Iono. Heavy Ball could find them a Comfey if they prized one. Not sure, not sure. Dragonite. Okay, so again, this is where like 230 like Miraidon feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. We can't 230 Raikou though. That's just not happening in this game. Okay, let's see. They did just get a Colress, so Colress gets them to 7, and 7 gets them to Mirage Gate. So they could realistically KO my Raikou with a Dragonite this game. That is something they could do. Which I wouldn't hate, if I'm being honest. If they do actually KO us with the Dragonite, we probably don't win, huh? Because the prize trade right now is weird, because we did take a one prizer, and they're easily going to take 2 prizes off this Raikou, which means that there'll be like a boss KO away on this Magnezone. Ooh, it can feel bad. It can feel bad. I feel like it would only work in our favor if we got another Iono. An Escape Rope. Let's give them the Magnezone. They're not at 10 yet, though. Dragonite. Probably. Oh, Forest Seal Stone. Okay, so they're somewhere. Oh, you know what? Well, no, even with like a... Oh, no, that would be 3. If they get the, what's it called? If they get the Lost Vacuum here, they'll get to 10. For sure, because then they can just vacuum away this plus the card in hand. Oh, no, that would only be 9. That would only be 9. Never mind. Because the vacuum goes to the discard. It doesn't go in the Lost Zone. Yeah. So they can't actually Sableye us this turn. Okay. So here comes the Dragonite. They are going to knock out our Magnezone. But we get to knock out their Dragonite with our Miraidon powered by Zapdos. Can we get... Oh, I should have promoted the Raikou so we could Fleetfoot. That was a mistake. We got an Iono! Yo, busted. Absolutely busted. Okay, yeah. So we're going to Iono here and put them to 2. Nice, nice, nice. This is feeling good. This is feeling really good. So yeah, we're just going to... Let's tandem unit, just because why not? Get another Miraidon down, I guess. Why not? And then we'll Photon Blaster for a KO on Dragonite. So that is why Zapdos is extremely important in this matchup, because being able to KO that Dragonite in one hit is just... I can't explain enough how important that knockout is, because now my opponent has 2 cards in hand, a Cramorant and a Rusty Sableye. What are they realistically going to do? They're gonna pass, yeah. So we're just gonna retreat, come up with the Raikou, and we are going to Lightning Rondo for KO. That is how you beat Lost Box. Take as many prizes as your heart can desire. Oh man, yeah. So Zapdos clutch, Miraidon quick. It's honestly a deck that I feel like a lot of people should be playing because of how fast it is. The numbers you hit are extremely relevant. It is an extremely good deck. Give it a shot. Let me know what you guys think. I want to hear from you guys. Thank you guys for watching today's video. It truly does mean the world to me. Again, I want to know what you guys think about Miraidon. I think it's a really interesting and fun and good deck. If you hit everything you can off of the electric generators, if you're hitting those electric generators, you're finding a way to like switch around your Pokemon and just hit the relevant numbers, you're going to do well. And I like this version because you don't have a 3 prizer on the bench that's easy for like Urshifu to KO. So, but let me know what you guys think. I really like the deck. I definitely think someone out there, if you're watching this video, if you've played this at a Challenger or Cup, or if you're interested in finding a deck to play in a Challenger or Cup, I highly recommend Miraidon. And that's coming from a guy that loves to play Chien-Pao, where this is my worst matchup. So take that in, put that in your arsenal. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. And until next time, stay safe and be kind.